Welcome to Hero Villains. Who do you think would win in Wonder Man vs Blue Marvel, who truly reigns as the ruler of pure strength? Wonder Man, real name Simon Williams, is the result of science combined with ionic energy, transforming him from an ordinary human into a nearly immortal entity. Wonder Man body no longer follows normal biological structure, but exists as a living mass of energy, granting him Avengers-level physical strength, almost limitless regeneration, and immunity to most forms of physical damage. Simon can engage Thor, Hulk, or Sentry head-on for extended periods, which alone speaks volumes about his standing in the Marvel Universe. Blue Marvel, also known as Adam Brashear, is a true nightmare for every power scale. Through exposure to Antimatter, Adam possesses near limitless strength, genius-level intellect, and the ability to manipulate energy on a cosmic scale. He can easily defeat Hulk, overpower Sentry, and even confront entities capable of global annihilation. What makes Blue Marvel most terrifying is not just his raw power, but his perfect control over that power through a scientific mind far ahead of its time. Before we dive deeper into the analysis, please press the subscribe button and remember to turn on notifications by clicking the bell icon. Thank you all very much. Williams agreed to become a test subject for Baron Zemo ion ray treatment, a process that would grant him superhuman strength and durability. After undergoing harsh chemical and radiation treatments, Williams gained the abilities that were promised. Zemo then gave him a costume, named him Wonder Man, and devised a plan to use him to defeat his enemies, the Avengers. Although Wonder Man once stated that he was formed from ionic energy since his most recent resurrection, his physiology has changed in ways that are difficult to explain. No one can be certain whether the form visible to the naked eye is pure energy or a body that resembles flesh and bone. During a bizarre event in which all living beings in New York were transformed into symbiotic entities, Wonder Man himself declared that he was no longer a flesh and blood being, but a true ionic entity. Simon Williams possesses almost limitless superhuman strength, with the lowest recorded level being the ability to lift over 100 tons. He is often placed on the same tier as Sentry and is speculated to be one of the most powerful individuals on Earth. Within the Avengers roster, Wonder Man has repeatedly been considered the member with the greatest physical strength. Comparisons to Thor are frequent, and he has even defeated Odinson in several encounters, although it must be acknowledged that Thor and Sentry often do not use their full power. Williams himself openly admits that Thor surpasses him. Even so, when a serious battle truly begins, Wonder Man is still capable of forcing Thor to rely on Mjolnir. In the eyes of Spider-Man, he is ranked alongside Hulk, Thor, and Hercules, slightly behind them but still far above Iron Man at the highest limits. Wonder Man therefore always evokes the sense of a silent, deep, and formidable power source, like a massive energy wave waiting for the moment to erupt. Despite his astonishing strength, Wonder Man has repeatedly fallen short of an individual at the absolute highest tier. Even when his power is combined with that of 3 other mighty Avengers, the gap remains like a wall that is difficult to overcome. However, this does nothing to diminish the terror inspired by Simon Williams. His grip strength is so great that Iron Man is forced to push his armor to extreme output levels just to keep up temporarily. And even when Tony goes all out, Wonder Man has clearly overpowered Red Hulk, subdued Abomination after a fierce confrontation, and effortlessly lifted devices so heavy that even the Thing struggled with them. A body composed of ionic energy grants him nearly limitless endurance, making the concept of fatigue almost non-existent. Large caliber machine gun fire can barely penetrate his unique physical form, while catastrophic impacts such as falling from immense heights or enduring relentless attacks from superpowered opponents leave him unharmed. Even breaking free of a planetary orbit and returning does not leave a trace of injury. By nature, Simon Williams has almost stepped beyond conventional limits. Ionic energy flowing through his body frees him from the constraints of aging, disease, and infection. Time means little to Wonder Man, as his unique iokinetic structure allows him to sustain his own life force indefinitely, no matter how many years pass. Even when his physical form is completely disintegrated, Wonder Man does not truly cease to exist. After a certain period, he always regenerates in another state of being, as if energy itself refuses to accept erasure. Williams is no longer dependent on the basic necessities of life. Food, sleep, water, and oxygen are no longer required. He exists solely on his own internal energy, silent yet enduring. Simon has also learned to release ionic energy surges of devastating destructive power from his body. This ability manifested before he fell at the hands of the Kree Empire, and after his resurrection, he uses it only in moments of absolute necessity. Wonder Man can also compress energy into tangible, solid forms, creating protective shields around his body to withstand violent attacks. From his hands, he can fire condensed ionic streams with adjustable intensity, powerful enough to paralyze enemies encased in biological armor, or to bring down formidable superpowered beings with relative ease. Simon Williams is not merely a source of brute force, but also possesses transformative abilities that make him difficult for opponents to predict. He has demonstrated powers similar to Count Nefaria by releasing ionic force directly from his eyes at will. These energy blasts carry immense destructive force, strong enough to hurl War Machine out of a building and leave devastation behind in an instant. In a confrontation with Scourge and his allies, Wonder Man revealed a rare display of brutality. From his hands, he unleashed two fierce streams of flame, incinerating a hybrid entity born of a storm giant and an Asgardian warrior. Enveloped in his own flames, Simon continued to charge forward relentlessly, delivering successive hammer-like punches that overwhelmed his enemies both physically and mentally. Wonder Man abilities extend even further. He once reshaped the spirit hand of his deceased brother into an organic scythe, then cloaked himself in the form of a savage demon to confront the villainous forces under Mephisto command. Beyond that, Simon can also alter his body size, growing taller and potentially stronger than even Goliath. In those moments, Wonder Man appears as a living nightmare, both tragic and ferocious, carrying the power of emotion, memory, and an unyielding will. I truly hope you will subscribe to the channel. It would help us greatly, and you are absolutely amazing. Thank you very much. Now let us talk about Blue Marvel. Adam Brashear was born and raised in Chicago, Illinois, in an environment that did not favor grand dreams. From an early age, he displayed extraordinary intelligence that left everyone around him in awe. Adam was not only an academic prodigy, but also excelled on the football field as a defensive back for Cornell University, where he graduated with top honors. His academic journey continued to soar as he earned a doctorate in electrical engineering and theoretical physics, affirming a mind that was truly rare in the scientific community. Despite possessing exceptional talent as a scientist, a veteran, and a superhero, Adam still faced countless barriers because of his skin color. During an ambitious project aimed at harnessing a powerful energy source, he and his close friend Connor Sims suffered a catastrophic accident when an uncontrolled explosion occurred. From that moment on, their fates diverged in opposite directions. Adam became a stable living antimatter reactor, wielding extraordinary power and taking on the title of Blue Marvel. In contrast, Connor was consumed by instability, both physically and mentally collapsing, and ultimately descended into Anti-Man. The source of Blue Marvel power originates from a form of antimatter energy released from a mysterious dimension known as the Negative Zone. Antimatter exists as the opposing mirror of matter, where subatomic particles carry reversed charges. Because of this absolute opposition, when the two forms come into contact, the only possible outcome is a catastrophic explosion. That Adam Brashear can control and harmonize this energy within his body has turned him into a phenomenon that is nearly impossible to explain. The physical strength possessed by Blue Marvel reaches an extraordinary level. He can easily lift well over 100 tons and is even believed to be capable of hoisting the battleship Enterprise, weighing more than 93,000 tons, using only his raw strength. These feats are still not his limit, as Adam once moved a massive asteroid comparable in size to the entire state of Arkansas without hesitation. A single full-force strike from him is said to be enough to split the moon in half. Blue Marvel demonstrated absolute dominance when facing Iron Man, Ares, Wonder Man, and Miss Marvel simultaneously while still maintaining a clear advantage. He once pushed Sentry to the very edge of his power and then delivered a punch that sent his opponent flying straight into Earth orbit. Even more astonishing, Adam defeated Hyperion in single combat, an individual who had slaughtered countless heroes across many different worlds. When confronting the Hulk of Earth 1610, Blue Marvel needed only a single blow to end the battle. In each of these moments, his power was not merely a number, but an overwhelming sensation, like standing before a blazing star that is both magnificent and terrifying. As for Adam Brashear, he once held a detonating hydrogen bomb directly in his hands and remained standing without suffering the slightest injury. Adam can endure relentless assaults from multiple top-tier superheroes, and his body adapts perfectly to the harshest environments, allowing him to survive in outer space without air while retaining full combat capability. Even a nuclear explosion is insufficient to cause him harm. Blue Marvel also masters antimatter at a terrifying level. Adam can manipulate antimatter in countless forms, from offensive weapons to controlled instruments of destruction. He once deliberately destabilized his own antimatter to destroy the material shell of a Beyonder. Adam abilities extend further into the manipulation of molecular bonds, controlling energy and antimatter from the molecular scale down to the particle level. He can even create new particles to repair damage to the light-based form of spectrum. Blue Marvel not only possesses overwhelming raw strength, but also controls antimatter energy with astonishing precision. At a lower level, he can emit energy blasts that are just powerful enough to render a human unconscious without causing permanent harm. When necessary, Adam Brashear can release all the antimatter within his body into a massive energy pulse that radiates in every direction, creating devastation great enough to alter the outcome of an entire battlefield in an instant. Blue Marvel energy manipulation is further demonstrated by the time he rearranged the photons within Spectrum body to prevent anti-photons from destroying her. Not only did he save Monica Rambeau from the brink of disintegration, but he also helped her grow powerful enough to defeat a small avatar of Shuma Gorath. Blue Marvel flies by controlling gravitational particles, adjusting the surrounding magnetic fields, and exerting absolute command over his own molecular motion, combined with tremendous speed. He can consistently exceed supersonic thresholds and has repeatedly propelled himself directly into space without the aid of any equipment. Time is no longer an enemy to Adam, as he is immortal and does not age beyond his prime. As long as he is not destroyed, Blue Marvel exists like a living beacon, quietly shining within the vast universe. Blue Marvel was once drawn into a deeply conflicting chain of events when his own son, Max Brashear, stood on the opposing side. Max, operating under the title Dr. Positron, led the mighty Avengers into a dangerous conflict with the goal of opening a gateway to the neutral zone to rescue Kevin. In another mission to explore regions beyond familiar reality, the Ultimates encountered Anti-Man within the neutral zone itself. Facing Connor Sims, Blue Marvel was torn between reason and emotion. He once wanted to end Anti-Man life, both because of the threat he represented and because of the unhealed pain of losing his wife. However, Kevin convinced Adam to let go of his hatred. After the disaster at the Antlion space station caused by terrorists disguised as Latverians, a dangerous black hole formed and Dr. Doom escaped. Blue Marvel was assigned to capture Doom and, alongside Herbie, traced his trail to Morgan Le Fay's apartment. When Doctor Strange passed away, Adam Brashear was entrusted with a box containing relics from previous Defenders missions, including a tarot deck that Strange had once sent drifting through the cosmos. These keepsakes served as a quiet reminder of responsibility, loss, and the heavy path that Blue Marvel continues to walk. The encounter between Wonder Man and Blue Marvel began with a dangerous misunderstanding. Because Blue Marvel rarely appears in public, Wonder Man immediately regarded him as a potential threat. In a tense moment, Wonder Man shouted, demanding that the stranger step aside so a true hero could carry out the mission. Blue Marvel calmly replied that he had been saving the world long before Wonder Man even learned how to fly. Those words were like a spark dropped into a powder keg. An alien device suddenly activated, generating waves of hallucinations that distorted perception. In Wonder Man's eyes, Blue Marvel gradually took on the appearance of a dangerous villain. In contrast, Blue Marvel sensed unstable energy stirring his opponent's emotions. The two quickly argued over how to handle the threat. Wonder Man believed in direct power and a decisive punch. Blue Marvel chose science and absolute control. The confrontation became inevitable. When Wonder Man charged forward with a supersonic punch, Ionic energy erupted and split the ground apart. Blue Marvel dodged by a narrow margin and countered with an energy wave that hurled his opponent back for miles. Wonder Man laughed with pride, convinced that his ionic body was invincible. But Blue Marvel did not waver. He released a precise and chilling antimatter energy beam that caused Wonder Man's energy structure to begin destabilizing. In the midst of the fierce clash, Blue Marvel identified his opponent's core weakness. The ionic body, though powerful, could be dispersed when subjected to excessive oscillation. With flawless calculation, he unleashed a tightly controlled energy stream that caused Wonder Man to temporarily disintegrate and forced him to regenerate from the beginning. Blue Marvel did not finish his opponent. He simply stood silently in the desert, choosing victory not through fame, but through clarity and restraint. The resolve of someone who has witnessed too much loss to desire further destruction. Blue Marvel is the victor. I hope you enjoyed this battle. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. Follow me if you enjoyed it. That is today's video. Thank you very much.